Something I'm also learning is to smile on my hard days. As somebody who overcame a lot by the grace of God, who's been through a lot, I just learned to just keep a smile on my face. But like lately, I'm being honest with y'all, I really ain't been wanting to talk, you know. But I still been like talking to people and stuff like that. But lately I just been like craving to just stay to myself, because I really just enjoy being quiet. I really enjoy just being by myself because that's what I'm used to, being isolated and just away. Um, I just love peace. I love peace and quietness, and I'm able to think more. Sometimes I read in quietness, sometimes I write, and I really look forward to writing a book, a deep book about the things I've seen in my life and the impact I've seen on my community with drugs, violence. So if y'all know anything about writing a book, let me know in the comments. Give me some advice. And yeah, but lately I just been trying to push through. Just trying to ask God for more strength. And I believe He's giving me more strength because I'm still showing up for y'all. And I just want to encourage y'all. God got you, but you have to spend time. You have to pray. You have to try to read your Bible. Life is not going to get easier. It's not. And you have to be willing to endure. You have to be willing to pivot. And you definitely have to be willing to pray because you can't do everything alone. And you can't fix every problem that come your way. And y'all hearing this from somebody who just wanted to be in control. I wanted to be in control so bad of the things that happened to me in my life that I used to just try to think and come up with a reason of why it happened to me. Even if I didn't fully understand it, I still thought about why did this happen, and I used to just try to fully understand. But sometimes you're not going to understand, and sometimes the things that happen to you doesn't just happen to you just for you. This thing I'm learning about life is that it's not about us. Life is not just about you. And if you really know about money, making money, a lot of times you never make money just by doing something you want to do for yourself. A lot of times you make money from service, helping somebody, providing a solution, answering a problem. And it's been hard for me because I just don't want to talk, and I'm trying to break out of that habit of just staying quiet, just being to myself. And that's all I'm used to. At one point in time, that was just my healing of not talking. I was so okay with being misunderstood. If you said something I disliked, I would just go quiet. And I'm really starting to learn how to break out of that. But other than that, I just want to give y'all a quick update, encourage y'all, let y'all know how I've been doing. And also, I just been trying to stay focused overall. I know one day we're going to look back at these videos and just thank God that I kept going. I really wanted to prove that being consistent and putting in hard work and dedication, it could get you so far. And that also overcoming fear is by stepping out in the unknown. I hate fear because fear holds you back. It makes you okay with being afraid of something and finding an excuse to not do it. And that was my main reason why I got back to posting on this channel and upload, is because I didn't want to tell anybody that fear was the reason I didn't do this. I didn't want to give up, and I seen a lot of people in my life who gave up on themselves, and And that's very heartbreaking. That's very disturbing. And I didn't want to be one of those people. So even if this got me laughed at or clowned, I was able to go to sleep peacefully at night knowing that I didn't procrastinate because I feared of being a failure in front of people, you know? So, step out in faith, trust God, and believe you're gonna make it, you know? It's not just about money. But I just always wanted to be in a position to help my family, give back to my community, and really set an impact, set some type of leadership, you know? And, I just believe, like, growing up in this type of neighborhood, in this city, you see a lot of violence and drugs, and, I fell victim to smoking weed before and stuff like that. But, I also did that by choice. I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to go and do that to myself. And, another goal of this channel is that I'm going to prove to the younger people that just because you grow up around this stuff doesn't mean you have to be a part of it, Selling drugs isn't cool, killing people, robbing people, and rapping about it isn't cool. And, I just really want to show my community that I want to be a real example. So, I'm going to see y'all in the next video. I'm going to continue striving for y'all, pushing through, and, just showing y'all that God got you if you surrender, And I'm going to see y'all.